Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go back for some another handful of truck races as well as a dirt race for our custom team. We go to Texas Motor Speedway to start things off today. We're a track that I didn't really know how we were going to do. Harrison Burton won the pole. Jennifer Jo Cobb, she failed optical scanning station multiple times, so she is starting at the back of the field. We didn't have the best qualifying effort coming into this race, but I was hoping that maybe in the long run we'd still be able to get a top 10 here today in Texas as we're ready to go green as the green flag is out at the site of our first ever truck race from last season, as our first hot seat was at this racetrack in the truck series. Now as we make the long stretch down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time, it is led by Harrison Burton, and Stuart Friesen leads that outside lane as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, getting down onto that apron just a little bit there as we exit turn 2. Clay Greenfield goes up to the outside. Now the 0-2 of Tyler Dipple is about to get past me as well as we go down towards turn 3. There was a bit of a checkup on that inside lane, so that's why we lost so much time there as we once again touched that apron, and it just didn't seem like we quite had the speed that we needed in this race. Now as we get a little bit sideways actually on the exit of turn 4, but I had felt like maybe at some tracks we need to actually turn up the AI tire wear a little bit to a little more gradual loss, because that seemed to bite us at certain tracks towards the end of these races, or I just need to figure out how to manage my tires better. That could also be the issue now as we would continue though to the final lap in the first stage, lap 3 of 3. We had moved up to P13 using that inside there of Grant Enfinger on our outside there as we come through on the exit of turn 4, heading down the front straightaway, making a 3 wide with Sauter and Enfinger as we come through to cross the line, and it will be P11 in stage 1 as the 51 of Christian Eckes gets the 10th position. So the final stage point is Harrison Burton wins the stage, so he gets another playoff point. Obviously we need to start getting some stage wins and race wins so we can get some playoff points here in our rookie season for the truck series. Now as we're ready to go green for stage 2, and the green flag is out and we are underway here for the second stage at Texas Motor Speedway. This stage is a 4-lap stage now as we try to move up inside of the top 10 behind our teammate of Tyler Ankrum. We're going to look to the inside of him and now look to the inside of Jordan Anderson. I hit the brakes and the truck kind of shot a little bit left onto the apron there as we come through on the exit of turn 2. Still on the inside there of the 17 of Tyler Ankrum, trying to give him a side drive. He would get ahead of him, but now as we came through on lap 2, he would fight back and actually look up my inside as I was dealing with a pretty tight handling truck through the center of the corner, and I just couldn't quite hold the bottom like I would prefer to. Now as we go down into turn 3 trying to make this middle lane work, and unfortunately it wouldn't work at all because as we came to the final lap we had dropped down now to P10 as we went down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in the second stage behind Clay Greenfield as we exit turn 4. So it's going to be a 10th place finish here in the second stage, so certainly not exactly what we want. Stage points are always good, but we want to be further up the field, and it seems like so far this season we've either had really good pace or we've had struggling pace, and it looks like today we're having a little bit of struggling pace here in Texas. Now as the final stage is underway here in Texas, it's only a 10-lap final stage, and I was a little bit concerned with the tire wear, how this is going to affect us there as we get into the back of Clay Greenfield at the start as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. The 45 of Ross Chastain gets past, and now Johnny Sauter is going to come through to pass us on that inside lane, as well as we try to side drive him through the center of the corner, but I get into his right rear now as we head down the back straightaway. So we continue to kind of drop down the field, but as we came through now on lap 15, still trying to battle though with Johnny Sauter as we looked up his inside once again, so we would briefly take that spot away, but through the center of the corner, the truck was really struggling, so Sauter was able to continue to battle, and now as we came through on lap 18, continuing to lose ground, Sauter had gone past us. We had dropped to P14 at this point behind Jennifer Jo Cobb. And as we came now to lap 19, out of turns 4, getting very sideways, actually going through into the grass now, as we are just sliding through the grass, and thankfully in NASCAR Heat 4, you can actually go through the grass without crashing, as I was not expecting. That was my first time driving through the grass in the game, but unfortunately this race took a big downhill turn, so we come straight through to the final lap, which was only a couple laps later now, running P19 behind Austin Hill as we went down towards turns 3 and turns 4. I was very glad though, because when I went into the grass I figured after playing the past NASCAR games I was going to go crashing all over the place, but no, you can drive straight through it, so that was certainly good to know, but we would come through to cross the line in a very, very disappointing 19th place finish. So that's definitely one of the other rough races that we've had to start this season. As Harrison Burton, though, would win the race. I believe that's career win number 2 for him in the Truck Series. At this point, 10th in the points, so not doing very good, but now has come through into the dirt race. We had subscriber Mick Van Weert in the car as we came through out of turn 2, and obviously still struggling on pace quite considerably in the dirt series, so it's very hard to really do anything right now. Actually, as he was battling in a 4 and 5 wide situation there as he came through on the final lap, getting into the wall actually, and that was going to come through to bring him a disappointing finish of P24. So very far back in the field, dead last, but now we come through into Dover for the Truck Series. Now, a track that I enjoy from NASCAR Heat 3, so I was hoping, okay, maybe we can go to Dover and have a pretty strong run. Matt Crafton was on the pole. Jordan Anderson crashed during qualifying, so he's driving a backup car for this race as we get ready to go green for the Jegs 200. This is one of my better qualifying efforts so far on the season. We're up in P9 for the start here at Dover. The green flag is out. Sorry, P7 we're up in, it says. But now as we take the green flag, maybe a chance to win today if we can play our cards right now. As like I said, I mean, the best pace we've had so far. We actually messed up in turns 1 moving up the hill, and that allows Stuart Friesen to look to my inside as he would come through to make the pass as we went down this back straightaway as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, sending it up the inside there of the 0-2 of Tyler Dipple now as we would come through in the exit of turns 4, taking the 8th position. Way they go 3 wide in front of us. We're going to send it to the inside there on the inside of the 0-2 of the GMS driver of Sheldon Creed as we go down into turns 1. You see already multi-groove racing out of turns 2. Crafton and Moffitt both up on the top lane. As we go down towards turn 3, we would also send it up the inside there of Grant Enfinger and move our way forwards up to P3 as we came through on the final lap of this opening stage. As we would exit turn 4, we would come through to get third in stage 1. Ross Chastain picked up the stage victory, so he's showing a lot of speed so far this season. Brett Moffitt in P2, and obviously ourselves in that third position as we would not have any necessary pit stop for this second stage, so we would get ready to go green here from the third position behind the 45 of Ross Chastain and the 24 of Brett Moffitt as the green flag is out and stage 2 is now underway. We're going to give the 45 of Chastain a little bit of a shot to the bumper, and it's only a 5-lap stage as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2, getting onto that apron just a little bit there as Stuart Friesen is behind me, the fellow Canadian, as we exit turn 2, getting into the left rear of Moffitt, but not enough to get him upset. And now as we came through straight to lap 5 of the stage, we had actually dropped down to P7 as the car was starting to give up on tires. And I mentioned this earlier, that the AI tire wear seems to be a little less gradual than the actual player, so we would stay out obviously again. But yeah, like I said, we just dropped so quick there in that second stage, so we dropped down to P7 as we get ready to start this third and final stage, and the green flag would be back out as we are underway here behind Austin Wayne Self. Behind us, I believe we have Sheldon Creed. On our outside, we have our teammate of Tyler Ankrum. We've spent a lot of time around Tyler Ankrum so far in this season as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Up the inside there of Matt Crafton as we exit turn 2, pushing up, but we thankfully don't take him out. But now as we come through with 7 laps to go, it was a continuous battle between myself and Matt Crafton as we continue to run P8 as we exit turn 2, getting a little bit sideways, almost into the rear of Crafton. But we come through now on lap 27 and still running P8, trying to battle it out with Matt Crafton, but he decided he was going to drop down to the bottom at this point as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. Oh, and there's trouble behind us. We got the 4 and the 13 both into the wall together, and that's going to actually bring out the caution and end this race here in Dover. So that will give us an 8th place finish here in the Jegs 200 at Dover, which a lot better than I expected because I was not liking the truck at all in this race. But now we come through into the next one at Kansas. 2 more races for this episode. Ross Chastain on the pole. We got Spencer Boyd, who is our friend now, so they'll race us cleanly. It's always good to know that the AI is going to race us clean, I guess. But like I said, Chastain on the pole. We didn't have, once again, the greatest qualifying effort, but we're actually one of the better ones again now as we get ready to go green here in Kansas from the 10th starting position as the green flag is out. I was looking forward to this race quite a bit, hopefully a chance to maybe pick up a little bit of speed. I know a subscriber, Oreo Man, commented maybe we should start running setups in the Truck Series to get a little bit faster. It certainly is a possibility, but we'll see how it goes within the next few episodes, and maybe we will have to start running some setups here now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway behind Spencer Boyd as we go down towards turns 3. Obviously, Kansas, a track that you can run the top. You were able to run the top here in NASCAR Heat 3, so of course you're going to be able to do it in NASCAR Heat 4, and sure enough, you see me up top here as we exit turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, picking up that draft from Harrison Burton as we come through to complete the first opening lap here in Kansas. And as we came through now on the final lap, a few laps later, continuing to use that top lane, moving forwards as we get up to P3. Chastain leads as we go down into turn 3, trying to get another position before the stage ends now as we come through on the exit of turns 4. Grant Enfinger just ahead now as we come through the trial. Chastain gets the stage win. We make a little bit of contact with the 98 of Enfinger, and we get P3 here in the opening stage. And still, you notice in the replays that the lighting is always at the end of the race, even if we're at the in the first stage. So that's a little bit of an issue now as we would get ready though to start the second stage here behind Chastain and Enfinger. A solid result in the first stage for us now as the green flag is out, and we are back underway for stage 2 behind Chastain and Enfinger. Grant Enfinger hasn't been the happiest with us as of late, so hopefully we can shake that away a little bit, because we know Enfinger, we don't want him as a rival because he's certainly capable of running up front week in and week out, so we're going to have to try and make sure we keep it at peace with him now as we slide up in front of him on the exit of turn 2, so we would be continuing to run in P2 for the moment. But now as we come through to the final lap, Stuart Friesen had passed me and Chastain to take the lead, and then I make a move on Chastain, trying to take over second, but I couldn't quite do it, so we come through in this second stage. We would get P3 as Crafton fails to get past me there in that 4th position. So a 3rd place in both stage 1 and 2. Great day for us on points in both stages, so this is going to help us out in getting inside of the playoff now as we would get ready to start the 3rd and final stage as the green flag is back out. Stuart Friesen leads the way as we have a very good launch, but we can't pass before the line. But now we have an opportunity. We're going to look to the inside of Stuart Friesen as we go down towards turns 1, 3 wide for the lead at this point, and we have taken the lead here at Kansas just for a moment, but Chastain is going to come through with momentum on the outside. He would drive past me, and that would be it, because we would lose a ton of ground after this as the tires had fallen off again, and we had dropped down to P7 as we came through now with just 5 laps to go once we crossed the line, so losing the speed with the tire wear. So that was very, very unfortunate. I just didn't have anything left for these guys. Now as we came to lap 21, running P8 as the 13 of Johnny Sauter would get past me as we went down the back straightaway. So we come straight through to the final lap, still running 8th place as we go down into turn 3, continuing to run the top just like Harrison Burton and Johnny Sauter now as we come through turn 3 and on the exit of turn 4 for the final time here in Kansas. We showed speed early, but we lost it in the final stage as we come through to finish in the 8th position here in Kansas. So very unfortunate. Stuart Friesen, a fellow Canadian, won the race, and now we cut through to the final race of the episode here at Charlotte. Once again, a decent qualifying effort now as we are ready to go green from the 8th starting position. That might be our best qualifying effort ever, actually, in the Truck Series now as we go towards turns 1, giving Chastain a little bit of a shot to the bumper, trying to push him the best we can as Crafton starts on the pole. As we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2, trying to get to the inside. Sheldon Creed looks to my inside, though, on my left rear as we go through now, looking up the inside of Ross Chastain. 3 wide for a moment down the back straightaway now as we're going to give Austin Wayne Self a shove, and now we have a chance to look to his inside as we go down into turns 3, and sure enough we hop on the opportunity as we're 3 wide now, trying to move up into the top 5 as we exit turns 4, and sure enough we find ourselves in 5th. Looking up the inside of Grant Enfinger, we continue to move forwards as we came through towards the end of the stage. We would end up getting P5 actually as I moved up to the outside and Enfinger had gotten past me, and so did Brett Moffitt, but we get P5 in the stage. That was only a 2-lap stage. That was a very quick stage, as obviously shorter races in the Truck Series, they go by very quick. Like I said, I will push up the length for Xfinity, and once we get to Xfinity, we're going to do less races per episode. We're just trying to get through the Truck Series pretty quickly here. Now as we're ready to go green to start in stage 2, as the green flag is out, and we are underway. This time I really felt like we had an opportunity to maybe fight for a win. Kansas, we were able to take the lead for about 5 seconds, and then everything went away, but hopefully we can manage the tires maybe a little bit better here in Charlotte as we go through turns 1 on the inside of the 24 of Brett Moffitt as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway up the inside now of the 13 of Johnny Sauter, and we would get past him, and now we would look to the inside of Enfinger and get past him here in the second stage and set our sights on Matt Crafton, but unfortunately I just didn't quite have enough for him as we came through now on the end of lap 3. On the final lap in stage 2, Crafton would hang on to the stage victory as we would come through to get P2, but other than that, a great stage finish for us here in Charlotte, so showing some strong, serious speed to start this race as we would stay out obviously and start this third and final stage from P2 as the green flag is out, and we are trying to take the lead here with 10 laps to go from Matt Crafton. Certainly a bit better launch than Crafton as we go down towards turns 1. Not quite clear as we come through the center of turns 1 and turns 2, but we definitely might have the momentum on the exit of the corner. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway, we do have the momentum over Crafton, and as we go down towards turn 3, we clear Matt Crafton for the lead as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. And we're going to exit turn 4 coming through to lead our first ever lap here in the Truck Series, but unfortunately, once again, the tires would wear so much as we came through to a few laps later. Brett Moffitt and moved up into P2, putting the pressure on me as we came into turn 4. He would get to my inside, and Brett Moffitt would be able to come through and take the win, or the lead away from me. Sorry, not the win now, as we go down towards turns 1 with 4 laps to go. So once again, just losing everything, doing everything I can to stick with the 24 of Moffitt, but I had nothing, because as we came through now on lap 19, Crafton getting past me, as well as we would drop down to P3 as we came through now to the final lap here in Charlotte, heading down this back straightaway. We showed some promise now as the tire little indicator comes on, saying that our tires are pretty destroyed now as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. Right at the end of this race, I felt like we had actually started to gain more speed than the AI, but too little, too late, as Brett Moffitt wins in Charlotte. We would come through to get the 3rd position, so very disappointing there as we led a handful of laps but just didn't have anything as Brett Moffitt put the pressure on. The tires were too worn. I couldn't fight him at that point, and we just came out of turn 4, lost the lead. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. In the next one, we are going to do another 4 races or so. Once we get close to the playoffs, I think we're going to slow it down on the amount of races we do per episode. We don't want to get to the Cup Series after like 1 week of this career mode, so we're definitely going to slow it down a bit. But I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll do another 4 races or so. So thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.